I'm Jessica Carl, and I'm here with the very talented Rahsaan Langley of the Rahsaan Langley Project. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. I mean, I couldn't imagine being anywhere else on a day like this when I'm like exposing some new music and everything. You're the perfect person to sit down and talk to. Thank you for having the time.
Oh, definitely.
You know, you're doing so many different things, you know.
I try.
It's hard, so thank you, thank you.
Definitely. So we're here at Kudeta in New Haven, Connecticut, and we have the pleasure of being a part of a live listening session with the Rahsaan Langley Project. And tell me a little bit about the songs that you're going to debut. They're coming from an upcoming album that you're working on?
Right, exactly. I've actually been working on this album, truthfully speaking, for probably about over 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
Just haven't really had the time to really zone in on doing my own music, and one day I just woke up and I said, you know what, I'm gonna make it my point to actually finish and do a project for myself. So I would say maybe about 3 or 4 months ago, I started working on it and getting the songs and things like that together. And it's just been like a great combustion of music, and it's only gonna be 9 or 10 songs on the CD. R&B, some good stuff. There's gonna be some love making stuff up there. It's gonna be some
You know, we could use some love making music.
Yes. You can always use some love making music. Ain't nothing like it.
And 9 to 10 songs. Listen, if they're solid songs, you don't need anything more than that, right?
Yeah, true.
So
true.
tell me about specifically the songs that you're going to be debuting tonight.
Tonight I'm going to be doing about 4 or 5 tunes. One is going to be the song that actually got leaked out and got sent to radio that you have been spinning graciously, and the rest of the family at 94.3, called Find Your Love, and that's one.
Yes.
I'm also going to be doing my second single called Crazy For You.
Okay.
Up-tempo, nice, feel-good joint. I'm also going to be doing another song called I'm All You Need. Song I did with Mr. Troy Oliver. Shout out to Troy Oliver out there, my little brother. Another one, actually there's 2. I'm kind of toying between like 2 or 3.
Okay.
The other 2 or 3 will be somewhat of a surprise once they get a view of this DVD here.
Yes.
So I'm gonna leave that to suspense. I'm gonna leave that there for a second.
Now, the majority, if not all of the songs that are going to be on the album, did you write them all?
Yes, yep. I wrote all of the songs. Some I produced myself, some I co-produced too.
Okay.
I did a couple of songs with my brother, Tony, Mr. Tony Langley of Shamari. I did a couple of songs with who I call my little brother, J. Moore Johnson, up and coming producer. We've worked together for like 5 or 6 years in a band, but we never really done any studio stuff. So this is our first studio work that we've done. And like I said, I did some stuff with Troy Oliver. But I got some great features. I got a feature from Teddy Riley.
Okay.
New Jack Swing King. That's my era. I had to pull it back to the New Jack Swing. And,
had to do it.
You know, and holla at Teddy for that. Talib Kweli.
Okay.
I got a nice feature with Talib. He did a hot 16-bar verse.
I love Talib.
Oh, that's my dude. He's real cool dude too.
Oh gosh.
And I also have something up there from Joe Buttons. I don't know if I'm gonna put it particularly on this album and save it for something else, but I do have that. And I got some Lauryn Hill stuff too. I got so much mixture of things that I'm just kind of still mixing everything up, and then me and the team will figure out what the last 9 songs will be. As far as what's going to actually make the album.
So now you're wearing a bunch of different hats. You got the producer hat on, you got the writer hat on, the artist, the performer. I want to focus on the writer. Okay. Where do you draw your inspiration from? Where does it come from?
The funny story, and I never really publicly said this before, but I would say maybe in 1987 or so, I started watching the stories.
I don't know what to say about that, but
listen.
I'm gonna let him continue.
Talk about stories and songs, and I mean just conditions and things like that used to go on there. Like when I used to see a lot of that stuff used to spark my interest for writing.
Okay.
So it kind of like started from the interest and spark of seeing stuff like that. I could be sitting down and just see someone sitting somewhere and they may have a certain face and, you know, write according to that. It could be an experience that I went through, a friend of mine went through, but I kind of draw it from everything, you know, all of my surroundings and everything like that, and just try and put it together to make a storyline, to make it something that people can understand as they're listening, and that's how I usually like to do it. I was told by a great gentleman, Mr. Gerald Levert, rest his soul, when we were on tour with him, he said that all great songs have a beginning, a middle, and an ending. And that stuck with me, and it resonated, and that's pretty much how I format a lot of my stuff.
Now, the producer hat, is this new, or is this something that you've always been, you always have your hand in a little bit of everything?
I've always done production. Like when we got our deal as Shamari, as the group Shamari, we produced like all of our stuff. I've always done production. I've never been the type of producer that would advertise myself though and say that I do this and I do that. But I've always done it for years. I mean, since I would say, let's give it maybe about 20, 30 years I've been doing producing and stuff like that, yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that. You learned something new.
Yeah. I love producing. I love production and melodies and putting drums and music and stuff like that together. I live for that. Yeah.
Now, you mentioned Shamari, and
Yep.
you know I was going to ask about Shamari because I always think about this. We went some club lounge in Fairfield. My friend brought me out there, and that was the first time I saw you perform, and it was Shamari at the time.
Yeah.
So, and I know you guys performed for a long time together.
Yeah.
How is it now being a solo project?
Man, at times at times it is kind of lonely because I'm used to having my brother, I'm used to having my cousin there. In the group, I was the singer. Well, let me push it back for a second. I was pushed to be the singer. My brother and my cousin pushed me to be the singer. It wasn't my choice. They were like, you know, pushing me to get out there. At first, my brother used to be the one to do all of the music and stuff like that, a majority of it, because we used to do a lot of music with Troy Teller back in the days when Troy Teller was here. Shout out to Troy. So we started off doing a lot of music and stuff like that with Troy, and then it kind of extended where Troy moved and Troy went to New York, and then when Troy went to New York, we started doing our own music on our own. But at times it's like I still hear my brother and I still hear my cousin in my ear. So like their influences are always there.
And he's had his hand a little bit on this particular
Yeah.
project.
Oh yeah. He's like just the one that's really like pushing me, kicking me, elbowing me to get done and finish everything. So he's definitely a major part of it still, my brother. Yeah, definitely.
So I know if you've written, co-produced, produced, did a little bit of everything on this particular album.
Yeah.
Tell me your song that is just your baby. This is, I mean, I know they all are, but that one song that is really you, poured your heart into.
I would say there's a song called it's called Mirror on the Wall, and it was an idea that stemmed actually from my son, who's a great writer too. He had an idea of this particular song, and the concept of the song, well, I really can't give the concept away not yet, y'all. You'll hear it soon. But just for the record, Mirror on the Wall is to me the one that it sticks right to the heart, you know, and it puts everybody, you know, up front with themselves, I would say. So that's the one. That's the one that stands out.
So why now? You said you woke up and something just hit you.
Yeah.
What do you think it was? Like, why now? I mean, if it's been 5, 6 years, I know life happens, things happen that might delay, but why now? What do you think the reason is?
I think for me, just musically, I just felt like now was the time, like I was just ready more than ever. I feel like I've always had the confidence to be ready and to, you know, musically be a part of whether it's a music community or a tour or traveling and things like that. But for me now, I just woke up and I just said, you know what, now's the time. I really felt in my heart and my spirit that this was the right time, and I'm going with it. It feels good.
It feels good, right?
It feels good. It feels real good. So I'm excited. You know, I'm like a kid in a candy store right now. Everything is new right now for me. You know, it's like a new artist that's coming out because people remember me from Shamari. You know, and me being my own solo artist, you know, it's like coming out fresh and new again. So, you know, I'm ready.
I know you are.
I'm ready, y'all.
Now, I have one question. I am a really big advocate on local artists.
Yeah.
What would your words of advice be? Because you've been in the game for a long time.
Yeah.
Someone that's starting out that wants to do this full time, that wants to go out and tour. What's your advice? First thing that comes to mind.
Unity. A lot of times I always hear people in Connecticut say that there's no unity, you know, but as an artist, there has to be people around you that you all have that same common goal. You know, if you have that same common goal and you got those good people around you, then things just continue to happen. You know, doors continue to open, and never ever allow somebody to stop what it is that you feel. You know, I've had a lot of people, we sat in meetings years ago and, yo, you guys, like, that song is not right, that song is not right, and here it is, Boyz II Men wound up singing that song, or SWV or something like that, you know. So always stick to whatever it is that you creatively feel.
Yes.
Stick to that creative part inside of yourself and stay true to that.
I want to thank you so much for sitting down. I am looking so forward to hearing what he'll allow us to hear tonight at the live listening party.
I got some goodies for y'all.
It's the Rahsaan Langley Project. Don't miss out.
Peace, y'all. Thank you so much. Thank you.